How long have you been leading this?
I started the circle here a little over 2 years ago. It was in July. Uh, I belong to the New York City Shamanic Circle. I'd go up off and on, and I just felt Spirit calling me to start it here. I saw the interest when a Mayan elder was here, and I thought, I would love to have a circle where I could practice, with others of like mind in the area. So I started it up, and it sort of like took off virally. I put it out there, and pretty soon, there was 10 and 20, and then now we have over 150 people who are actually signed up for the meetup site. We don't usually have that many here, but you know.
Um, could you tell me a little bit about, I guess, in the simplest way you can,
Right.
shamanic practices and
Right.
drumming?
Yeah. Well, I mean, basically, shamanism is a Siberian word, which is a man or a woman who has been called by spirit to serve the community, and in that service, usually it's one of my favorite definitions of the shaman from the Siberian word is the wounded healer. So you can become a shaman either hereditary, passed through your family, or you can be called by spirit, and that's usually through some sort of near-death experience or disease or great misfortune that calls you to the path. And the idea of the wounded healer is if you've traveled to near death and been able to find your way back, then you're able to help people who are in either physical or spiritual dire straits to travel there to find their healing and help them to come back. So it's sort of like we're guides or pathfinders for people in that sense. I love what my elder Ipu Piara, who I worked with for the last couple of years before he passed away in May. He says we're all shamans. It's just we've forgotten what it means to be a shaman, and what we do as teachers is to help people to remember the shamanic path and the shamanic ways that are at their disposal. So it's my being a shaman doesn't elevate me more than anyone else. It's just that I've started my memory process, and I help other people to start that memory process for themselves. Because like my indigenous elder says, shamanism isn't just about indigenous people either here or, in Asia or in South America. They say we're all indigenous. It's just that, in the West, we've forgotten a lot of what it means to be indigenous. So.
Would you categorize it as like a religious?
No.
Not.
No, it's not a religion. It's a spiritual path. Religion is something that someone else has experienced and has people, or they have people that follow them, like Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, and that's fine. I'm not criticizing that. That's how some people are called. And I mean, they're beautiful paths in themselves, but sometimes we're called to go into a much deeper depth with spirit. And what that process is in shamanism is that we're called to interface with spirit ourselves. So my way and how I interface with spirit is going to be a little bit different than yours, And I like to think of that as the unique genius that spirit creates in all of us, So, my part of it may reach your heart and may reach someone else's heart. And that's what it's called to do. And what it's to do is to call you to have your own experience with spirit, that, I can teach you tools. I can take you on journeys to help you to experience that. But in the final analysis, it's your one-on-one experience with spirit. And to me, that's what called me to shamanism, I couldn't find the answers that I was looking for, in the religions that I was born with or that I studied, for many years. I mean, I did East, West, Southern Baptist, Catholic, Buddhist, you name it. I did that. But and there, as I said, I found elements of the Spirit there, but not the full. And once I heard about shamanism, that opened up a whole new way, because that's a timeless spirituality. And if you actually look at most of your major religious traditions, the ones where there's mystical elements to it, like the monks, like the Buddhist monks and the Catholic monks and the Sufi mystics, when you bring the mystics together, they have no problem with understanding each other. It's usually on that sort of clerical corporate structure of religion, where people will say, it's my way or no way, No one has a single, we have many languages on the face of the earth, and they're all good and proper languages. So there's many spiritual paths, and there's many religions, and they are all equal as far as, spirit is concerned.
I like the language
Yeah.
comparison.
Yes, yeah.
What would you say to the community, like as far as coming to join or?
Well, as I say to people is, coming here doesn't mean giving up your religion. It's Buddhism, if you look at indigenous cultures like around the world, they're usually a combination of either Protestant or Catholic or that, but they still maintain these ancient traditions. It doesn't conflict with those paths. It's just about opening yourself to spirit, and that's what ultimately religion is supposed to be about. So we welcome people of all traditions to come here to join us. It's just a time of just opening to spirit, opening to community, because that's a shaman is not a shaman without community. That's what we are called to do, is to be a service to community. So without a community, then I'm just someone who believes in shamanism, or I may practice, but I'm not a shaman. And I was very shy about in the beginning using that term about myself as shaman, but my elders, I've been initiated in both Ecuadorian tradition, the ancient Quechua Incan tradition of the Path of Light. I've been initiated in Brazil in the Macunaiman tradition, which is very dear to my heart because that's my elder that just passed away. He's Macunaiman, and Macunaiman is a man or woman whose spirit's called to help to make others' dreams come true, even at the expense of our own dreams. It's more important to us to help others' dreams come true. And, to me, this is a sacred promise and sacred mission in that sense, is to help people to heal their hearts, to realize, there is no separation between us. We are all truly one. It's an illusion that this is yours, this is mine. It's really, we are all together in this. And if we open up as a community and take care of each other as a community, and the need for hoarding or I'm better than you or that, or I got to protect mine, all that starts to disappear.
Thank you so much.